There are people who sound loyal. They say the right things. They check in. They call you family. They tell you they'll always be there. And sometimes they even believe it. Until the moment arrives. The moment you stop being easy to use. The moment you stop saying yes. The moment your growth changes the role they assigned you. The moment your truth costs them comfort. That is when loyalty stops being a word and becomes a test. And most people fail that test quietly, not with some dramatic betrayal, not with a big speech, just with a shift, a colder tone, a strange distance, a sudden lack of support, a version of them you somehow never met while you were still useful. That's the part that hurts. Because fake loyalty rarely looks fake in the beginning. It looks warm, helpful, protective, close, until life asks one brutal question too many. And tonight I want to give you 2 questions. Just 2. Because honestly, that's all it takes. 2 brutal questions that strip the performance off people faster than years of words ever could. And once you ask them, not always out loud, but deeply, honestly, a lot of people in your life will become impossible to misread. Here's the deeper twist. Carl Jung spoke about the persona, the social mask, the version of ourselves we present to be accepted, admired, needed, or safe. He also wrote about the shadow, the parts we repress, deny, or hide, which often return through projection, resentment, and contradiction. That matters here, because fake loyalty often lives in the persona. It says, I'm with you. I support you. I've got your back. I'm different. But when pressure enters the room, the shadow takes over. Envy, fear, entitlement, control, self-interest, resentment, and suddenly the person who looked loyal becomes someone else. Not because they changed overnight, but because the role stopped holding. The pressure simply revealed what was underneath. So these 2 questions are not just social questions, they are shadow questions. They don't test what people say about loyalty. They test what loyalty becomes when the mask can't keep performing. So let's get into the first one. Question 1. Who are they when you are no longer useful? This is the first brutal question. Who are they when you are no longer useful? Not lovable, not agreeable, not available. Useful. Because a shocking number of relationships are not built on loyalty. They're built on access. Access to your time, your energy, your emotional labor, your forgiveness, your usefulness, your silence, your flexibility, your willingness to carry more than your share. And as long as you provide those things, the relationship feels stable, warm even. But the moment you stop, the atmosphere changes. That's when you find out what they were really loyal to, you, or what you provided. This is one of the most painful truths people wake up to late. Some people were never attached to your soul. They were attached to the role you played in their life. The understanding one, the forgiving one, the one who always helps, the one who never says no, the one who makes things easier, the one who absorbs tension, the one who bends first. And the moment you stop performing that role, they don't feel betrayed by your character. They feel interrupted in their convenience. That's why the reaction can seem so cold and so fast. Because fake loyalty is often just dependence in elegant clothing. It looks like devotion while you're useful. But once your usefulness drops, so does their warmth. Think about how many people feel close to you when you're carrying something for them, when you're listening, helping, fixing, comforting, giving, making yourself emotionally available on demand. Now think about what happens when you're tired, when you need space, when you need help instead, when you're no longer the source, you're the one in need. That's where fake loyalty gets exposed. Because real loyalty doesn't just love your function, it stays present when your function disappears. Fake loyalty, on the other hand, becomes impatient the moment you stop being a resource. It may not attack directly, Sometimes it withdraws, sometimes it guilt trips, sometimes it gets strangely dismissive. Sometimes it acts like you've become different. But usually what's really happening is this: you stopped being useful in the old way. And now they don't know how to stay connected without taking. That is a brutal realization. But it is also freeing. Because once you see that someone was loyal mainly to your usefulness, you stop personalizing their disappointment. You realize they did not lose the real you. They lost the version of you that made their life easier. And those are not the same thing. This is also why healing makes certain relationships fall apart. Not because healing makes you arrogant, but because healing makes you less available for unconscious extraction. You stop bleeding out attention to prove love. You stop apologizing for having needs. You stop saying yes to avoid guilt. You stop confusing self-erasure with loyalty. And when that happens, people who were quietly feeding on your lack of boundaries start calling you selfish, distant, hard to reach, changed. But ask yourself the brutal question again: who are they when you are no longer useful? Do they become patient, respectful, present? Do they stay steady when you can't perform your old role? Or do they become cold the minute they can no longer benefit from your openness? Because that answer tells you almost everything. Jung would say that relationships often reveal unconscious material through reaction. We learn about the shadow not just through dreams, but through our reactions and our relationships with other people. And nothing activates unconscious entitlement faster than another person becoming less available for use. That's why this first question is so powerful. It cuts through history, cuts through sentiment, cuts through, but we've known each other forever. Because time does not prove loyalty. Pressure does. And when your usefulness ends, pressure begins. Question 2. What happens when your truth becomes inconvenient to them? Now the second brutal question. What happens when your truth becomes inconvenient to them? This one is even sharper, because some people can stay loyal to you as long as your truth costs them nothing, as long as you keep your insights soft, your boundaries negotiable, your standards quiet, your pain digestible, your growth non-threatening, your honesty easy to accommodate. But the second your truth creates friction, you learn who is loyal, and who was only loyal to the fantasy of you being manageable. This is where things get real, because truth changes the emotional economy of a relationship. Truth says, no, that hurt me. No, I'm not doing that anymore. No, I see what this really is. No, I'm not comfortable pretending. No, I need distance. No, this relationship only worked when I was betraying myself. And once truth enters, fake loyalty starts shaking. Because fake loyalty is not built to survive honesty. It survives roles, silence, mutual denial, convenient ambiguity. But honesty? Honesty forces people to choose between relationship and ego, and many people choose ego. That's why some people love the image of being loyal more than the actual work of loyalty. They like being seen as supportive, as real, as trustworthy, as ride or die. But when your truth threatens their image, their comfort, their control, or their access, they turn, not always openly, sometimes through withdrawal, sometimes through defensiveness, sometimes through subtle punishment, sometimes through that cold, strange energy that says, I liked you better before you started saying what was real. This is the Jungian layer. People often build their identity around a persona that says, I'm a good friend, I'm loyal, I'm solid. But when truth arrives and that persona is tested, the shadow may rise underneath it. Resentment, control, fragility, need to dominate the narrative, fear of being exposed as less loving than they imagined. So the issue becomes bigger than the conversation itself. It becomes a threat to their self-image. And insecure people will do almost anything to protect self-image, even if it means sacrificing the relationship they claim to value. That's why truth is one of the most accurate loyalty tests in existence. If your truth is gentle but firm, and someone still punishes you for it, they were never loyal to your reality. They were loyal to the version of you that kept their ego comfortable. There's a huge difference. Think about it. Who gets uncomfortable when you name something honestly? Who acts hurt the moment you become clear? Who says they want realness, but only if it flatters them? Who calls you too much the moment your truth stops protecting their image? That is not a small detail. That is the relationship revealing its architecture. And fake loyalty often has a very specific architecture. I am loyal to you, as long as your truth does not require anything of me. As long as it doesn't ask me to reflect, to apologize, to grow, to give up control, to see you as separate from the role I preferred. But loyalty that collapses under truth was never loyalty. It was compatibility with illusion, and illusions always feel close, until somebody decides to wake up. That's why some of the most loyal people in your life become the most uncomfortable once you stop protecting the old story. Because your truth does not just confront behavior, it confronts the version of the relationship they wanted to keep untouched. And if they need the lie more than they value you, they will protect the lie. Every time. That's what makes this second question so brutal, because it forces you to stop asking, do they care about me? And start asking something much harder. What happens when my truth costs them comfort? Do they lean in? Do they listen? Do they hold the tension like an adult? Or do they attack, distort, withdraw, label, or punish? Because that reaction will tell you more than 10 years of affectionate words. Here's the deeper twist I want to leave with you. Fake loyalty is rarely random. It usually attaches itself to a role, not a person. To the version of you that made them feel safe, needed, superior, central, comfortable, unchallenged. And because they confuse the role with the relationship, the moment you change, they feel like you betrayed something. But what you really betrayed was the arrangement, the unconscious contract, the silent expectation that you would stay the same, so they would never have to meet you differently. That's why these two questions matter so much. Because they reveal whether someone is loyal to your being, or loyal to the benefits of your old position in their life. Again, who are they when you are no longer useful? What happens when your truth becomes inconvenient to them? Those two questions go deeper than, do they text first? Deeper than, do they say they love me? Deeper than, have they been around a long time? Because long history can hide very shallow loyalty, but pressure reveals everything. And if you answer those two questions honestly, you'll start seeing certain relationships with brutal clarity, not cynical clarity, not bitter clarity, just clean clarity, the kind that stops you from begging fake loyalty to become real. So if you've been confused about someone, if their loyalty feels warm one day and conditional the next, if they loved you loudly until you stopped performing for them, or until your honesty made them uncomfortable, don't keep staring at the words, look at the questions. Who are they when you are no longer useful? What happens when your truth becomes inconvenient to them? That's where the answer lives. And yes, it hurts when the answer is ugly. But confusion drains more life than truth ever will. So choose the pain that frees you, not the pain that keeps you explaining, hoping, shrinking, and negotiating with what has already revealed itself. And before you go, I want to ask you something for the comments. What was the moment you realized someone wasn't loyal to you? They were loyal to your usefulness, your silence, or the role you played in their life. If that hit something real, comment, the role ended, so did the illusion. Because chances are a lot of people here learned loyalty the hard way. and never had the language for what actually happened.